Hello everyone, today's topic that we'll be discussing is a video game trilogy known as the Xenosaga Trilogy, episodes 1, 2, and 3. But we're going to be talking about it in a way where I'm thinking to myself, I was thinking that these games are very rare. They're pretty old games, but I was thinking to myself, like, even though that Xenoblade Chronicles is really the more popular part of the franchise, I was thinking to myself, I see no reason why these games in particular, the Xenosaga games, which are like also really a part of the same franchise. Personally, I think that these games are very deserving of getting a remaster. I personally do not know exactly the reasons why Namco and Monolith have decided not to make a remaster of these games, but I was thinking to myself, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea, because I remember for many years, looking at these games and looking at some of the cutscenes of these games, and they actually look like they have promising characters and some promising storytelling. Like, I remember the Mabel Pesh scene and thinking about how cool it was when you see Albedo and, this girl talking. This girl, walking in the room where where Albedo is just holding, like, a corpse. And, he has, all this really interesting dialogue. And I think it's a really cool moment. And I feel like from that part, it made me very curious about the whole entire, trilogy as a whole. And I was thinking maybe at some point it would actually be really cool if these games actually got a remaster. So that way I could actually play the games and actually listen to the scene again on my TV while actually playing the cutscene. What I found really cool about that cutscene was really the dialogue and the voice acting, and I thought it was very talented how they were able to come up with speaking partially German and partially French and mix all this wild stuff into this one scene where it was very nuanced and it was very well together and it made sense, and I just really liked the interactions that I saw from it. And I thought it was interesting enough from the first game. It was specifically from Xenosaga Episode 1, Der Wilser Macht, for anyone who is curious. I think it was definitely at least made me curious enough that these games seem like they had promise back in the day. Now, I don't know anybody personally who has ever played these games themselves, because I know that the games sold poorly, but I feel like, by remastering these games, and here's really the argument that I'm coming up from this, I feel like it would give them a chance to become more popular again, so that way at least people can talk about them more and form more critical assessments talking about them. I think they are worthy enough, from my perspective, that they at least deserve a remaster. At least more than some of the other games that were out there that, in my opinion, didn't really need them. Like Tales of Vesperia, for example, which wasn't really that good of a game. But that's a topic for another day. I feel like, these games had qualities back in the day that probably even surpassed the Xenoblade Chronicles games. I've actually been playing all 3 Xenoblade games. I've played and completed X a while ago, and I'm almost done with Xenoblade 2. And I feel like the Xenoblade Chronicles games, like looking at them, I think the first game is the best, probably. But then X, I feel like, had a bad story, even though it had good gameplay. And to just also, like, summarize the rest of how I felt about all 3 Xenoblade Chronicles games in comparison, I also think that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was tainted by bad game design and it also had bad design in its story as well. And I felt like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was the problem with that game was that it was tainted. But Xenosaga, I feel like, even though I don't have a really strong opinion on those games because I never actually played them, they were always games that I was always very curious about checking out. I feel like they always had something promising to them, and while I don't have the power to, of course, to confirm whether or not these games will actually get a remaster, I just want it to get out there more that I just personally think that they deserve it. And hopefully there's more people who feel the same way. But I can't, control people's opinions, and that's fine. I don't know many people on the internet. I don't know anybody personally. But I feel like just presenting this argument from what I've saw was cool in these 3 games. I just know that I believe that these games deserve a remaster. Because I've never played them, and I would definitely like to play them one day, if it is ever possible. Thank you for listening to this. Please, if you have anything to discuss down below, feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what your take is on any of these 3 games. And if you actually played them, then that's actually great, because I would definitely love to hear what you probably thought of these games playing them. So you could even tell me whether or not you would recommend them or not. And I think that's totally awesome. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Signing out.